Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Why eBlasting is Killing Your Business by David Barnes. Before we get started, I'll go over a few things so you know how to participate in today's event. You're listening and using your computer speaker system by default. If you'd prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio panel and the dial-in information will be displayed. You'll have the opportunity to submit text questions to David by typing them into the questions pane on the control panel. You can send your questions in at any time. You don't need to wait until the end of the presentation. We'll collect these and address them during the Q&A at the end. And if we don't have time to answer all the questions, we'll record them and David will answer them in writing after the seminar and we'll send you a copy of the answers. To give you a brief introduction on today's presenter, David Barnes is the global custodian of the term Electronic Direct Marketing, EDM. He's the global CEO of Zulu Labs and their product Zulu EDM is used in over 50 countries around the world. He holds an MBA from the University of Western Australia and splits his time between Australia, the Americas and Asia, promoting better EDM practices, delivering high customer engagement and ultimately adding value to businesses around the world. I'll now hand over to David. Welcome, David.
Thank you and welcome to this presentation. What I've done is split the presentation into three logical areas. A brief review of our research and path to where the industry is at is the first section or first part of the presentation. Secondly, we'll look at the underlying value proposition that EDM contributes to the value of an organisation and how that works. And lastly, the issues with EDM and some best practice tips, especially when it comes to eBlasting. I'm about to run a video which is an overview of electronic direct marketing and how we have looked at the definition and some of the components.
Electronic direct marketing, or EDM, is more than eBlasting and ad hoc email marketing. EDM is a strategic and consistent process of building and refining a marketing database with the purpose of communicating on a one-to-one basis to subscribers via personalized and targeted emails, text messages, and on occasion, direct email. At the EDM Factory, we specialize in providing strategy, implementation, campaign execution, outcome analysis, and database building services that will take your current eBlasting to the next level. Try us today and see how we can lower your cost and drive better results by improving your eBlasts.
The research journey started when we were looking at the original model where we were servicing advertising agencies, web developers, digital companies and so forth through our product Zulu EDM. That had limitations in which the outcomes were controlled by the agencies, the advice they were giving to the agencies, and we were just a product. Clients were also doing their own campaigns using our software and were producing very simple flyers, which most commonly is referred to as an eBlast. Very little thought, a lot of information, sometimes not a lot of information, no click-through strategy, no engagement strategy. And so that forced us to really look at the client retention that we had on our product, but also the outcomes that were being achieved. And one of the cornerstone issues that we faced was agencies that just were transient in the way in which they treated the campaign data and also how they were analysing any campaign data that was available in terms of click-throughs or open rates and so forth. Quite often there was no continuance in terms of campaigning. It was one-offs. The campaign was attached to a large project such as a website launch or even a television commercial or a print advertisement. Agencies pushed on price, ease of use and little more. They overcharged for creative and often, in fact, all the time they were simply uploading a list, blasting to it and would not care about the personal data attached to the email address. The eBlasts were often a headache attached to a hugely expensive project. The most concerning aspect of the process to us was that on most occasions campaign data was not even looked at or requested. This screen in front of you shows how we were able to go in and have a look at how agencies were treating the campaign data. If they hadn't refreshed the statistics on the actual campaign screen, then the campaign data wouldn't come up in the summary statistics. And 80%, if not more, of agencies and web developers and so forth simply weren't looking at the data, weren't analysing it and providing that feedback to their customer. More importantly, they didn't know what the data meant. They didn't know what a good result was. They didn't know how to achieve a great result. And then there was no follow-up campaigning or regular campaigning to make sure there was engagement with the subscriber. The term email list was born, which further cheapened attitudes towards the process and was very much driven by US email blasting tools like MailChimp and Constant Contact. Email is cheap, or so it seems. Email addresses are free, and this helped to form many people's attitudes towards email campaigns. The just get it out today attitude and we'll do better next week was easy to live with because whatever sales that was made was looked upon as a bonus or something that was unexpected. Campaign costs were often less than $30, if that, and so time poor behaviour and lack of thought going into a campaign was often rewarded with good sales and good return on investment. Investment in time and effort by organisations is often driven by the costs associated with a particular project. If you compare the price of a print catalogue or a website with an eBlast, organisations would most likely spend more time on the first two projects rather than the third, even though the third may be as equally as important, if not more important these days. So in summary, it was clear from our research that organisations and agencies were not that interested in quality engagement with their subscribers and often viewed email marketing as an inconvenient blast that drove some good results. It was clear that the discipline of EDM needed to be refined and defined, and the market needed to be educated. To then explain the underlying value proposition that EDM contributes to a value or to the value of an organisation, we've created this video to help CEOs, entrepreneurs and business owners understand what key metrics they should be looking for and why EDM contributes to the actual value of the organisation. Before I play this video, I just want you to think about what difference, if any, a change in vernacular would have done to your view of email blast or eBlast historically. So instead of saying, team, let's get an eBlast out to our large list this week, we have a new product to promote, I want you to exchange those words with this. Team, let's get a campaign ready to send to our marketing database with a different message for high-value customers. Just that change in vernacular should start to position how important your marketing database is and the process that goes into creating a great campaign with great engagement.
EDM for CEOs, business owners, and entrepreneurs. Electronic Direct Marketing, or EDM, supports a business in terms of sales and brand building. CEOs, business owners, and entrepreneurs should be aware of this cost-effective and vital marketing discipline. Being at the top of your organization, you need to know the following. Indiscriminate e-blasting is no longer acceptable. It will destroy your client relationships and devalue your marketing database. A well-nurtured and targeted database will increase your organization's value. EDM will support sustainable business growth and add inherent value to your organization. Executives must have real-time information and analytics tracking the following information monthly: the total number of subscribers, net gain or attrition of subscribers for your organization, key segment engagement across the organization, benchmark analysis between revenue and key segments. EDM will drive subscribers and subscriber engagement. Effective EDM will maximize the marketing investment if subscribers are sent targeted campaigns. EDM is used to support loyalty programs, sales teams, and product research. The EDM Factory is a dedicated global EDM agency that can implement strategies and software to deliver the results that successful organizations demand. Call us now.
As a business owner or CEO, you're always looking for what the exit value of your business is. Well, you should be, for the most part. And traditionally, profit turnover, the balance sheet, and the value of assets is a good measure by which you can expect a value to be given to your organization. But many CEOs and many organizations undervalue their marketing database as an asset. And so EDM really helps with that nurturing of that very, very valuable asset, which in turn helps with key metrics such as predictable revenue, growth, and sales. This slide shows the subscriber numbers of a very large promotional products wholesale manufacturer in the United States. Those numbers are when they left us 4 or 5 years ago. Total database size 34,767 with subscribed contacts of 34,300 odd. As of today, they have less than 11,000 subscribers on their database in which they can send out campaigns to. That is a huge attrition. That is an attrition of more than 20,000 subscribers over 4 to 5 years. The CEO was surprised when he saw these numbers when he was on a call with me just recently. And I think the senior business managers within the organisation were a little bit embarrassed as to where they got to. The key takeaway here is that these numbers should have been looked at quarterly, if not monthly, to ensure that that attrition rate wasn't too high and that you were arresting any subscriber disengagement or unsubscribes and seeing what you could do differently to make sure that there was value and you continued the revenue cycle that you're looking for. So I believe the CEO should have a checklist and should at any one time know the following: the total number of subscribers that you have in your database, the net gain or attrition of subscribers for your organization across a period, call it quarterly or monthly, and the key segment engagement numbers across the organization. That means you understand what your key segments are and what the key engagement numbers are in terms of open and click-through rates, which should translate through to the last point, which is benchmarking the analysis between revenue and key segments. For me, the final piece of the pie in adding organizational value using EDM is predictable revenue. And so to build the asset value of the database, EDM should and could be used as an indicator to predict revenue. Knowing the expected revenue per segment when a campaign is released is valuable in anyone's terms. Also, good campaigning will help you understand which channels receive the most inquiries or sales calls when a campaign is sent. And finally, EDM is a perfect tool to demonstrate how successful your organization is at converting prospects to customers, because an EDM database is more than just a customer database. It handles communications to all subscriber types. The final stage of this presentation is to discuss the issues with EDM, more and particularly eBlasting, and some best practice tips to help you drive better engagement and better outcomes. This video is a short video on why eBlasting sucks and what it's doing to your subscriber database.
eBlasting sucks. eBlasting is the untargeted and indiscriminate sending of electronic messages, such as email and SMS, to subscriber lists. So why does eBlasting suck? Recipients of untargeted eBlasts will disengage with your brand if the content they're receiving is not relevant to their needs or preferences. In the United States, we have seen engagement numbers, defined by the open rates for the purpose of this discussion, drop to below 5%, and in some cases, 3%. A well-targeted subscriber database should average open rates of more than 25%, with another 9% or more added to that with a resend to recipients that failed to open the first campaign. Our clients with large databases that are well segmented and nurtured achieve engagement results of more than 60%. What would this mean to your organization? Our tribe in the Zulu EDM platform is dedicated to eradicating untargeted and indiscriminate eBlasting by helping organizations to re-engage with subscribers. Please help us bring trust back to campaigning by using hashtag eBlastingSucks on your campaign tweets. Zulu EDM is the world's best electronic direct marketing platform, and you can sign up for free at www.zuluedm.com.
So we've established that eBlasting sucks and it's doing damage to your subscriber database. So at a minimum, you need to look at your database and make sure that it's segmented to match your organization's products and services. Preferably, you look at other logical ways to segment and campaign. You need to give value to your subscribers. Don't just take. Price counts, but anybody can match price. What is going to make the experience better for the subscriber and have them open that email when it comes through? Forward planning. Persisting with ad hoc campaigns or automated campaigns in a marketing loop will be seen through by your subscribers and recipients. Content is king. We have a white paper available on our website, which is a great download to help you get content which is rich and valuable to your subscribers. But with content, you need to make sure there's value in terms of what you're sending. So key benefits, key outcomes, all of that sort of thing when it comes to explaining whatever your product or service is a must when it comes to content marketing. Finally, you need to review the numbers. Don't be scared of the numbers, and benchmark the numbers against internal sales, internal inquiries, or whatever you are looking for to get from your subscriber base, from your campaigning, and the outcomes that will drive better results. Organisations that don't review their numbers for each campaign are really looking at destroying that database and destroying the inherent value that's within that database. And just one last thing, nurture the database and make sure you campaign regularly to the database offering value, because if you don't campaign to that database, it really is only as good as the last time that you've communicated or had that touch point, and then the value starts to drop off. People leave organisations, they change their email address, they change their interests, and so forth. That concludes this EDM presentation, and I certainly hope that you can understand why eBlasting is killing your business. Peter Margettis will be a contact point for anybody that has any queries or any follow-up from this presentation, and I certainly appreciate your time today.